Welcome to the world of red gold. This is the Orestes, Indiana processing plant, where 60 years ago, Orestes Canning opened its doors. Back then, everything was done by hand, both in the field and in the plant. Now, the name changed to Red Gold in 1970, and through the years, advances in technology have helped the company grow. But it's still the Reichert family philosophy that remains the same.
My parents had a strong focus on quality, customer service, and delivering a price at a competitive into a competitive market. And that's something that was just sort of, we heard all the time. And we took that philosophy and tried to make sure that we were become one of the best.
It's a team effort from field to factory. Red Gold employs 800 people, 1,300 during harvest. 60 growers farm 10,000 acres of tomatoes for the company. 3 processing plants produce 100 different styles and flavors of tomato products, which are sold across the United States and in 15 foreign countries.
So the growers understand what we're all about, and from there we went to our suppliers and explained what we wanted to do, and they work with us. And of course, our employees, they've got the same kind of focus. And having our own brand, and they're very proud of that brand. So it takes that extra effort if you want to be on top, and they give it to us.
Believe it or not, one day these tiny seeds will become red gold tomatoes. In March, growers start the seedlings in a greenhouse where temperature and humidity are controlled, giving the plants a healthy start. What are the ideal growing conditions in the greenhouse for the seedlings?
Okay, in the greenhouse, we like to have the temperature between 65 and 68 degrees as much as possible until the time that, when we're getting them ready to go out, you kind of want to cool them down and get them accustomed to the outside temperature. It's called toughing them up. You take a little water away from them, take a little fertilizer, and cool them off. That way, when they go outside, they don't get this instant shock, like a house plant. Sure. And it really helps them out. And then once they get to the field, they take right off.
Now, do you grow the seedlings year-round, or is there a certain season for you here?
No, we start actually growing seedlings about the first week of March, and we're finished usually around the 20th to the 25th of June.
And then what happens here at your farm the rest of the year?
A lot of maintenance, a lot of maintenance.
In this greenhouse alone, there are 20 million seedlings. By June, it's time to send those seedlings to the field.
Well, we go anywhere from Michigan to Ohio, Indiana, southern Indiana. We get a list of different growers, but then somebody may have better weather than another guy. So you'll ship to him, and that way they always keep the plants, fresh, and they go to the field on time. And it makes it a lot easier for us.
The seedlings arrive, and these carousel transplanters drop the plants into the ground.
We've worked the ground down to make a really nice seed bed. Applied the weed herbicides, chemicals, and the people come in and they're setting these individual transplants anywhere from 16 to 18 inches apart with enough cover to cover the root system. We also apply water and a little bit of fertilizer to give them a good start.
Gary says tomatoes like heavy soil with a touch of clay, and they grow best with about an inch of rain a week, 85-degree days, and 70-degree nights. Now, if the grower and Mother Nature can work together, Gary can expect 29 tons of tomatoes per acre.
Cut it in half and we see how red it is. This is what we're looking for. This is an ideal processing tomato. And through our efforts in breeding and trying to specialize in any particular fruit, this is what we're looking for. And this is where it all pays off right now.
Harvest is a busy time. In the field, machines cruise the aisles, plucking the tomatoes from the plant.
These machines were made in Pennsylvania. They have equipped with color sorters, all the latest technology in order to pick the entire vine up, shakes it off. It goes through a color sorter machine that throws out the greens. And we have our employees on the harvesters that sort out any dirt or imperfection of the tomato, any blemishes. And we unload into the semis. The semi-trailers are equipped with, under Red Gold specifications, low sides, wide trailer so as not to have any damage to the fruit, just minimize it. And they're poured into that, and then from there they're transported to the processing facility either in Geneva or Orestes or Elwood.
The loaded trucks then head to the processing plant where it's a round-the-clock race to get the tomatoes in the can as quickly as possible, thus ensuring that red gold quality and freshness. Tina Reichert oversees the 24-hour operation at Arestas, and we started our tour high above the action.
Tina, you forgot to ask me if I was afraid of heights before you brought me up here.
Are you afraid of heights? You're handling it well.
I am, aren't I? What are we standing on? What is this contraption?
This is an evaporator. This is brand new this year. We got it done like the day before the tomato season started. And what this does, it takes the tomatoes after they're crushed up and gently pulls out the moisture in them. And by doing that, it makes it a consistency of tomato sauce in about 20 minutes.
Wow.
We're really proud of this one. We have three. All three of our plants have an evaporator, and we're proud of each of them. But this one we're proud of because it is the only one in the world like it.
Well, let's go on back down and go inside the plant and see what comes up next.
All right.
Alrighty.
The tomatoes get unloaded into what looks like an amusement park log ride, where they get washed constantly as they work their way down the line.
So the tomatoes, when they come in, they go through size graders, color sorters, and then people sorting them all the time. So whatever truckload of tomatoes come in, they're constantly being sorted. So then our final product, we're really proud of.
And then as they go on down, then they finally come to the point where they either get diced or sliced. And that happens so quickly.
Just instantaneous.
Wow. And once again, they're still sorting through those as well.
Right. They sort them before they're made into dices or slices or holes, and then they sort them right after, and then right before they go into the can, the final touches are being put on.
And then they get dropped in the can, and then that juice comes back out on top of them.
Right. This machine drops the tomatoes in the can, and then we have somebody making sure that all the cans are full, and then hot juice comes on top. The hot juice has all the ingredients. If it's stewed tomatoes, it has all the vegetables and the sugar and the spices. If it's just regular whole tomatoes, it has salt and citric acid in it. And right now, today, we're doing Italian diced tomatoes.
It smells like garlic and tomatoes, and it smells so good.
And it has garlic and onion and oil in it. So, olive oil.
And the other thing is, you're constantly making changes and improvements with all this machinery, too. I mean, you learn something every day, don't you?
Every day. There's not been one season that's been the same, and that's also been our philosophy, is that you're never good enough. You always have to make it better and better and better. So every day is a new challenge, and everybody in our team is on the same page, so we just always want to get it better. And we'll go back. We have a QA lab, and we have an R&D lab as well. They're always tasting the products, and we're out there, let's tweak this, let's make this a little bit better, or let's add this piece of machinery to maybe make it more efficient or even better. That's our goal.
And once again, you only have 65 days that you actually do the canning, right?
We're dependent on Mother Nature. So we hope to have 65 days. Every day that we give's a blessing. And last year we had 70, so that was great. The average year is around 65 that we hope to get at this plant.
And it's 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. The farmers depend upon us to run. You know, we control, as you know, we control when they're planted and when they're picked. But now Mother Nature has kind of kicked in and warmed the place up, and the tomatoes are ready. So it's real important that we're running every moment that we can. And that's another philosophy that our whole group looks at. You can't miss a day, because you can't ever make it up. So we're all very focused on running the tomatoes. We actually feel we let the growers down if we don't do our share.
Wow, that's incredible. And once again, it's just like having a fresh picked tomato right from your garden, because
it's a different variety than probably what's in your garden.
Right, but I mean the fresh quality of it. And you were telling me it takes, what is it, an hour and 10 minutes from the time it gets loaded off the truck into the can?
Depending upon the size of the tomato or the size of the can, it could be 45 minutes, and then it's been washed out and canned and cooked and cooled and ready to be labeled.
Ready to eat at home.
That's right. That's right. And then we put the label on it, and we send it to our distribution center, and then off to the stores it goes.
And here we have our finished cans of red gold tomatoes that just got labeled, and I'm going to grab one. And you can see the whole peeled tomatoes. And remember what Tina said, it could have been just 45 minutes ago that the tomato in here was just on that truck outside. That's amazing.